Hello, today is the first day of ATD conference and we are choosing the most interesting sessions. And in my opinion, one of the interesting sessions is this particular one, which right now we are covering. Could you please say us a few words about the main topic and the whole idea of the session?
Absolutely. So Jackie and Alice and I were talking about brain science and how advancements in neuroscience can be applied in a corporate learning setting to enhance the learning experience for corporate learners.
Okay. And what do you see as the main challenge which your session is providing solution for?
I think that the main challenge across corporate enterprise today is that old ways of learning, people know now, don't work. And so one-size-fits-all content, one-time learning event where there's no reinforcement after the fact, no ways to know what people know or don't know and how they're applying it on the job. All of those traditional ways of training employees are completely outdated, and advancements in neuroscience and technology have allowed us to employ techniques in the workplace that actually get the outcome of learning that companies want and expect from their employees. So that the challenge is addressing old ways of learning and providing ways that are much more effective in the workplace.
Okay, thank you very much. And now probably it's time to ask Alice, as a scientist, I mean, you are covering the scientific part of your presentation.
Yes.
So what would you be, what you can say as a summarize those major or main elements of neuroscience discoveries which right now you are employing for the corporate learning?
Right. I think, well, the top one I think is to space out your practice. And essentially when you say space out, I mean the opposite of cramming. So you don't want to repeat or rehearse the same information over and over again in a very short time period or short time window. What's more effective for long-term retention and real learning is to actually space out those study or those training events to help people really retain or learn that information. The second thing would be something called retrieval practice, and basically it's another finding or element that shows that practicing retrieval is way more effective for learning and knowledge retention over the long term as opposed to passively studying the same information again and again. And the third point that I think is very relevant to corporate learning is that in general, we're very bad at assessing what we know and what we don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mentioned this in the session too, retrieval practice is actually also a very good way for us to assess, our employers as well, to assess what it is we know and what we need to work on. And it's really important to strategize or prioritize our time to focus on the material that we don't know yet.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, not to feed the whole information to everyone, like,
Right.
yeah, okay, without
Right.
individual. So make learning and make, I would say the corporate learning is much more individually crafted.
Exactly.
That's correct. Okay.
Exactly. You don't want to waste time studying things that you've already mastered. It's better to spend that time on what you don't know yet.
Okay, so could you please tell us a few words what's your part in this session and how you see your participation in the presenting material?
Absolutely. Thanks, Alex. So I have actually been a customer of Axonify, and I'm currently studying a field, applied neuroscience. It's the neuroscience of leadership. And through my studies, I've gravitated to learning and development and have really sort of identified that as a key way to help drive business results. Helping to get knowledge into the minds of employees is a key way, I think, for organizations to drive success. And I think what brain science has done, one of the things that really has resonated for me in the work that I've done and what drew me to Axonify is a shift in moving away from thinking about the content that we want to push out to people and how to deliver it to how do people learn. And with that end in mind, I think we're finding more effective strategies to support people in learning and drive better business results.
Perfect. Okay, and now guys, just a few words. How you come together? I mean, as a group, and how you end up with that session, like being together and having that kind of nice cooperation of science and business and all other elements? Carol, will you please?
Well, so as Jackie just mentioned, she has been a customer of Axonify, and so we developed a relationship. And Jackie, in employing Axonify in the workplace, was a key for us in terms of getting some really good measurable results.
Yeah.
And Dr. Kim and Axonify, we have a partnership where she analyzes live customer data that we collect. That's anonymized and is able then to help us in terms of optimizing the learning algorithm so that we deliver the optimal learning experience to all of our customers.
Yeah, makes sense. Science is supposed to do some analytics and do things better in terms of delivering and make a product. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And what about ATD? Or former ASTD? Why did you choose this particular, platform for your advances in the business and for your presentation?
Well, ATD as a conference, especially the international conference, draws learning leaders from around the world. And so it is a premier event in the learning space annually and is really a great venue to talk about and think about concepts that are really thought leadership in advancements in learning. And so it's just a great conference to get exposure to all of the leading edge thinking that's going on in the learning environment globally.
Okay, perfect. So thank you very much for your time, and I wish you a great time here in Orlando in the ATD conference, because we have still 3 or 4 days ahead. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.